Hi, my name is Pip Mackay and I'm the creator of Matrix Therapies and Archetypal Coaching. And I want to tell you about an extraordinary experience that I had in southern France that led me to develop a new coaching program called Your Quest for the Holy Grail Within. When I was 16 years old, I came across a book that my mother gave me, and it was about a woman called Eleanor of Aquitaine. And she married Henry II and gave birth to Richard the Lionheart. We've all heard of Richard the Lionheart, of course. But many people don't know anything about Eleanor. She actually was a queen in her own right and ruled in her own right in southern France, because in the 12th century in southern France, there was equality between the sexes, which is just amazing. So I loved her and I read a lot about her. And then I did my honours thesis for English literature, and I was looking at a group called the Cathars. Now the Cathars are how courtly love, which is our concept of romance, began. And from there, the troubadours happened, the whole concept of love songs, and it all happened, and they all gathered around Eleanor's court, which she called the Court of Love. And it was the very first time that love became more important than power in medieval times. And I loved this, and I fell in love with it. And so when I went to southern France, I wanted to explore all the Cathar castles. And the other thing I'd studied is a story called Parzival and his search for the Holy Grail. Now I'm sure you've heard about the Holy Grail, but most people don't understand the story and this knight's search for the Holy Grail. So this was my background fascination for France. And so I go to a lot of different places and I'm expecting to feel something amazing, something magical at certain castles, but I didn't. And I was like, what's going on? And then one day I was driving and it was quite late at night and I was by myself and I saw this castle and I was like, do I really need to stop at another castle? But something internal said to me, stop at this castle. And I stopped and I thought, it's not even going to be open. It's after 7 o'clock. But I climb up anyway and the gate is magically open. And I go inside this castle and I had these incredible experiences in the castle as if I'd been there before. And it was, I don't know whether you've ever wished to go back in time and experience what it was like. Well, that's what it was like for me. It was like an incredible flashback in time. And so I started to study this castle and I understood it was a really big Cathar stronghold. And I thought, well, that's it. That's the experience in southern France that I was expecting to have. And then I was driving and I was returning home, like I was only going to spend another couple of days. And I was driving back to Nice to fly out. And I thought, I don't want to stay in Nice another night. So I thought to myself, do you know what? I just want to be guided to somewhere that's going to be amazing. And it led me to this monastery. And I went and looked at the monastery and it said, the Monastery of Mary Magdalene. Well, actually it was like a nunnery. So I went in there and it was actually a hotel and I could stay there. So I stayed the night there. I went to the restaurant, it had the Mary Magdalene menu. So I stayed in there. And you know, at this time, even though I loved the Cathars and the Templars, I knew nothing about Mary Magdalene. So then I go next door to the Basilica and I go down and I see this crypt. And I'm not really into bones and stuff, but for some reason I went down into this crypt. And in front of me was the skull of Mary Magdalene. And I had an overwhelming, all I can say, it was an unexplainable spiritual experience. I knelt down, I was crying, I couldn't stop crying. And I was looking at this and I felt like I was in the presence of something divine. And I've never had this experience before. And I don't come from a religious background at all. So it was an amazing experience for me to have. And I felt this incredible feeling that my whole body was being reframed from who I was right here, right now as a human being, all the way back to Mary Magdalene, all the way back to the ancient goddesses of the past. And I felt this cellular reframe because in our society, in a lot of spiritual places, there's not much feminine spirituality. And then there's a lot of like new age stuff about the goddess, but I wasn't really into that. But this was a full physical experience. I could feel my entire body vibrating, where I felt there definitely is a sacred feminine that is as strong, as powerful, and equal to the sacred masculine, and it's something that we're all searching for, whether we're male or female. We're searching for this love and this power, and we want that to be a spiritual experience for us, and it was amazing. Now, after I had that experience, I was pretty shaken up, and somebody there said to me, you know, what do you pray for? I can see that you're very moved. And I said, I don't pray for anything. I just was here in this presence and had this experience. And then I thought, well, what do I want to pray for? And at that time, I had a new relationship, and my partner wanted me to be in contact with him all the time, and I was used to being by myself and doing whatever I wanted to and feeling that sense of freedom, and I was feeling a little bit like, oh, a bit crowded by this. So I asked her about this, and I got like a voice, and it said to me, don't be afraid of love. Surrender, open yourself up more deeply to love, and you'll find a freedom that you have never experienced before. And that created an incredible change in me and allowed me to be even closer in my relationship with my partner. And he really noticed a huge difference in me. And then I asked her, you know, what should I be doing in my business? And it was like, again, saying to me, just keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter whether there's 100 people in your courses or whether there's 10 people in your courses. Just do what you are passionate about. And then I said, is there anything else you want me to know? And she said, bring people here so that they can experience what you have experienced. When I came home, I was like, man, I am doing a lot in my business. Am I really going to create a course where I take people to France? And then I told my story like I've just told it to you. And people just said, I want that. I want to come. And so people have signed up to come to this course, and now we've only got a couple of seats left for this course because I only want it to be a small, intimate group so that everybody can really surrender deeply to the experience, and that we can organise it in a way where people feel like they can have their time in these sacred spaces. That's what we're doing, and I wanted to tell you about it. If you feel drawn to this, then fill out your name and your email address below, and we'll have a conversation. This is definitely not for everyone, and we definitely only want people who are at an advanced level and feel really drawn to this course because it's going to be incredibly special, and I'm so excited about it.